Hello and welcome to another book review, and today we're talking about Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb and doing a comparison video just like I did for the first two titles of the Farseer trilogy. This time we're tackling book number 3, Assassin's Quest, which is an absolute behemoth. I mean, this is almost double the length of Assassin's Apprentice, the first title. And once again, I'm going to be showcasing the Folio Society edition from the UK, as well as the US illustrated hardcover, which is, once again, much like the first two titles, still widely available, still very nice. And we'll look at both of them. So I will say, first and foremost, that I absolutely adored Assassin's Apprentice and Royal Assassin, the first and second titles of the Farseer trilogy. They are like 5-star fantasy if you're ever going to read 5-star fantasy. So first and foremost, I will say Assassin's Quest wasn't bad, but it was definitely the weakest of the three. You had two absolute masterpieces. This one, while still a very good fantasy novel, does get bogged down a little bit. I mentioned in the first two books are very slow paced. They're very character driven. The same can still be said of this, but the pace is even slower in this third one. So it's hard to talk about the plot without spoiling the second one. So let's say following the events of Royal Assassin, Fitzchivalry is now undergoing a quest. He wants revenge against a character who has done him dirty. And so a lot of this novel deals with Fitzchivalry trying to accomplish that quest. The quest changes about a little under halfway through the novel. Once again, this is the U.S. one I'm showing you right now. Magali Villeneuve's gorgeous illustrations. This delves definitely deeper into the relationship with Night Eyes, his wolf companion, who is once again still one of the best characters. I mean, you would think, oh, how do you personalize a wolf? This wolf has personality to spare. This wolf has the most character development of any animal I think I've ever read about. Seriously, this wolf has some of the best character development in the whole novel. There he is with a ferret who helps him out in times of trouble. Magali's illustrations are superb. There are 10 illustrations throughout this US edition, which is the same number they had in Assassin's Apprentice, same number they had in Royal Assassin. There is Fitz in a little bit of trouble. Night Eye's paw there. Anyways, but being the same number of illustrations spread throughout over 800 pages is a little sparse. Not as sparse as the Folio Society is. There is Verity, arms dipped in magic. Verity is off doing his own quest, which he started in the second title. That comes to fruition in this title. So about halfway through this title, the quest of Fitz changes, and he decides he needs to go help Verity. And that is where it turns into, I don't want to say a road novel, a little journey of sorts. The journey takes him to some fantastic places and introduces dragons to the series. Which I'm not going to say too much about the dragons other than that they are freaking awesome. I mean, look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it was great. I mean, the entire last third was superb. The Red Ship Raiders are still attacking the shores, although this doesn't deal with the Red Ship Raiders as much because you're not on the shores. You're dealing with Fitz on foot. Fitz dealing with his quests, his first his revenge quest, and then his quest to go find and assist Verity. I think there's another illustration in the back here. Unfortunately, trying to flip through this book and find the illustrations, I should have I don't want dog ear them, but I should put like little sticky notes or something on there. Lots of beautiful illustrations by Magali Villeneuve. But, like I said, 800 pages, there's a lot of wandering in it. And that is one of the downsides. I mean, it's the slowest of the three, which the first two handled well. Both my editions are signed, courtesy of the signed page, which is superb. But this is the slowest of the three. All three have been slow, but they've been fascinating. This one, you start to get impatient, or at least I did. I started to get a little impatient after a while. I'm like, hey, we gotta we got to move it on. This is the Folio Society edition right now, which has gorgeous illustrations, full color plates from David Palumbo. Just like the other two titles, this one only has 5 full color plates. And because of it only having 5 full color plates, crammed into a 750-page book, 760, sorry. Oh, sorry, just under 800. There's fewer pages here because of the trim size. You have beautiful large margin sizes, but just the text, you're able to fit a lot on there. And having 5 illustrations throughout that is, it's not much. It's not much. It definitely makes you prefer Magali's illustrations in the US edition. I will say the quality of the UK edition is definitely superior. We're talking a beautiful cloth binding, much better paper, beautiful printing as well. It's not letterpress or anything, but it's still very nice printing. This also has our first illustration of Kettle, one of the new characters. She was not featured in Magali's, or maybe she wasn't. She was featured on a piece of art that I missed. I listened to the audiobook for a good portion of this, supplementing it with a paperback copy I have. And there they are by one of the dragons. That's David Palumbo's dragon. So, I mean, in terms of sheer quality, you can't go wrong with the Folio Society edition. It is, we're talking cloth boards versus kind of the hard, kind of laminate boards. We're talking sewn binding versus the glued binding. Not that you can really tell here. Actually, you probably could because it's a bigger book. It's easier to open it up. You can see the glued binding of the US edition versus the sewn binding of the UK edition, which should be sewn. Is this not sewn? Oh, it's sewn. Yeah. It's high quality. It's gorgeous. But being in the US, you are going to have to pay international shipping. And another thing to think about is that the US edition is available individually. You can go out and buy Assassin's Apprentice. You can buy Royal Assassin when you're done with that. Buy Assassin's Quest when you're done with that. Whereas the Folio Society edition is only available as the whole Farseer trilogy. But so if you were on the fence and you hadn't read the first 2 titles, it's a lot larger of a purchase to say, I'm going to buy all 3 of them. Whereas with the US versions, you can just buy one at a time. One of the very disappointing things is that neither Folio nor Random House, or Del Rey, seem to want to continue this with Live Ship Traders, which is the next trilogy in the realm of the Elderlings. These were the first Robin Hobb novels I've ever read, and I can firmly say that I am a Robin Hobb fan. I'm definitely going to continue on with the Live Ship Traders at some point. I do need to take a slight break to jump into some other novels because I don't currently own the Live Ship Traders, apart from a cheap little paperback. And, well, I want to show you the fancy books, right? You want to see the fancy ones, which you're not going to get with Live Ship Traders yet. I know Subterranean Press did their own edition of the Farseer trilogy. I don't believe there was interior artwork. It was just new dust jackets. They are doing the Live Ship Traders, but I don't own the I don't own the Farseer trilogy from them, so I'm probably not going to be able to pick it up. But anyways, I will say it was, especially the last third of the novel, it was a great conclusion to the Farseer trilogy. If there was no further novels, I'd be a little disappointed because there are some unanswered questions. And I mean, I know it wraps it all up in like the last epilogue, but you want more, which is a weird thing to say after I just complained about there being too much across the 800 pages. I guess that was the problem, though, is the 800 pages didn't have enough. It was still the slow burn, but it was kind of a slog at times. Once you get into the chaos of the final third, the final fourth, you want more. And, I have questions that need answered. So if this was the end of the whole shebang, I'd probably be disappointed. But I do know that Robin Hobb did continue it with the Live Ship Traders, with the Tawny Man trilogy, with Fitz and the Fool. There are further titles, although I know Live Ship Traders is not directly linked. It's not a continuation, but it does take place after these. So anyways, I'm definitely going to move on to those. Just probably not right away. I got some other books to read first, other books to review, and other books to unbox. So please consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more of these. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you around next time.